I usually avoid talking about things like September 11th, but I saw Jesse Venture's uh, new TV show called Conspiracy Theory, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. I saw the 9/11 episode, and you know, I don't really talk about these things because I feel like when it comes to September 11th, people just don't care. People believe whatever they're told because I don't think people really care. I think it's interesting how if you even question the government story, people say that you're crazy and they say that you're a conspiracy theory. But when you look at the facts that the government put forward, their story sounds absolutely ridiculous. I mean, as the show pointed out, four airplanes crashed on that day, on September 11th, and not one of the black boxes was recovered. Now, anybody who knows anything about plane crashes or anyone who even follows the history of plane crashes know that it is absolutely ridiculous for four planes to come down and not one black box is discovered. Obviously, there's something wrong right there. If they can recover small pieces of bone for DNA testing, how come they can't find a big orange box at a crash scene? I mean, but this is an example of something that people just ignore. They accept whatever the government gives them. On the day of September 11th, the ground zero, where the two towers collapsed, they took the beams out of there. They took the evidence out of there, and it was destroyed almost immediately. Now, for me, that's a red flag, but to most people, it doesn't really matter. You know, the planes crashing into the building. They say there was airplane fuel that caused the buildings to collapse, and yet Professor Jones and other independent studies show that there was actually thermite in the ash, in the dust. But people don't care about that. People don't care about the fact that Building 7 wasn't even hit at all, but it supposedly collapsed because of structure failure caused by a fire. And yet there's been still structures that burned for days without collapsing. People don't care. I mean, whole story is ridiculous. You want me to believe that somebody flew a plane into the Pentagon, the heart of the military, the heart of military communications for the world's only superpower, and not one photo was taken of the plane coming into the building, not one videotape was taken of the plane coming into the building? How could somebody hit a target that secure without no video, without no photo? It's ridiculous. Had I wrote a script about this and I submitted it for you guys to read, you guys would have criticized me for putting plot holes in a story like that. I mean, people would have said, hey, man, this makes no sense. If I said there were planes crashing into buildings and the Air Force didn't scramble any jets, you guys would have said, this is unrealistic, Reginald. You need to redo this, man. But hey, if the government says it, then I guess apparently it makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that the government was behind the attack of September 11th. I don't know what happened, but I know that the information that I'm being fed by the government makes absolutely no sense. I understand that a lot of stuff is just absolutely ridiculous. No rational human being would take that seriously. No rational human being is going to believe that four planes crashed and not one black box was recovered. No rational human being is going to believe that the evidence at the towers, the beams being taken out of there and immediately being destroyed is not suspicious. No rational human being is going to believe that you can crash a plane into the Pentagon and not one videotape captures it. It's just silly. I don't know what happened. I don't know if there was a rogue element within the government responsible for this type of attack. I don't know if they used the fact that there was always construction in the World Trade Center towers to plant thermite explosives. I don't know. I'm not making a claim to know what exactly happened on that day, but I do know that the story that I'm being fed does not make any sense. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. What do you think about September 11th? Do you have any unanswered questions about September 11th? If so, do you think we should have a new investigation into September 11th? And do you think it's important enough to have an investigation into a September 11th? I want to know what you guys think. Please rate the video. Please comment, even if you disagree. Have a good day. Bye.